Woo! What's going on, guys? Arms Forum coming at you guys with another video, and today we're still doing some draft videos, NFL draft videos, looking at some prospects at the college area there. And mine today is my analysis on defensive end Mike Green. Played at Virginia Cavaliers for 1 year, and then moved on to Marshall Thundering Herd for 2 more years. Now, Green is an interesting prospect. Exploded onto the scene in 2024 with 17 sacks. Is he a 1 year wonder? We'll talk about it right now. This is what I like to do with these draft prospects. You know, like I said, like before I start every video, I'll kind of get into it as fast as I can. I like to look at, game film, all 22 if I have to look at it. Game film is very important to me. It's it's not as hard as you think to get to actually watch those videos and to actually acquire it. It's 2025. You can get those. You can get those videos. You can get the game film. You can get the game tape. You can get whatever you need to watch certain players, and kind of get your grasp on what you're looking for. Now, I do like to look at magazines. I do like to look at YouTube highlights, but I don't. I use them more as a guideline. The information that you get in the magazines are nice. The information that you see on YouTube highlights are great. Like I said, though, anybody can kind of put together a YouTube highlight and make yourself look like a superstar. I like to look at the lowlights too, and how they handle adversity on the field. That's where game film kind of comes in, so on and so forth. And then I just kind of give you my analysis on all of that put together, jumble it all up, give it a stir. And I try to present it as best as I can. Now, let's talk about Mike Green. 6'4", 250 pounds, 22-year-old kid. College stats. Remember, he went to Virginia. He was a Virginia Cavalier for a year. And then Marshall Thundering Herd for 2 more. 3 years of college stats. 131 tackles, 33 tackles for loss, 2 pass deflections, 1 fumble recovery, 4 forced fumbles, and 22.5 sacks. Those 33 tackles for loss and those 22.5 sacks are the big numbers that pop out. Remember, his last year exploded on the scene with 17 sacks at Marshall and 23 tackles for loss, which is exceptional right there. He did play some linebacker at Virginia. Didn't play a lot at Virginia. We'll get into what happened with him at Virginia as well, but he played mainly linebacker at Virginia. Only played like 6 games, and then some stuff happened, and we'll get into that. And transferred out, and then went to Marshall and played 2 more seasons there. Now, he did leave. I'll kind of get into it right away, and I'll probably kind of brush over it again. Green did leave Virginia after being accused of SA. If you don't know what SA, I can't really say the 2 words. I don't want to get flagged on YouTube, okay? So look up SA. They're not good allegations. One was by an anonymous reporter, or like a report, so who knows who it was. I don't know if it was a girl or a guy. I'm assuming it was a woman, but she or he, whoever, wanted to keep anonymous. Okay, and then he actually had another one in high school as well before he even went to Virginia, and nothing has ever happened. He's never been questioned by the cops. Apparently, he's never been taken in, never been arrested, nothing like that. But he had the allegations. However it got handled, I don't know. Sometimes this kind of stuff can creep up later on in these guys' life as well. So I don't know if it's true, don't know what happened, but the allegations are out there. If you don't know what it is, look up SA, and I'll tell you. I just don't want to get flagged. You can put 2 and 2 together and figure that out. But let's talk about his strengths. Like I said, double-digit sacks, 2024 was 17, exploded onto the scene. Long and lean with a big frame. Kid's got a long frame, big frame. Put some more weight on if needed be. Some of these guys, are, some of them can't handle another 10, 15, whatever they have to put on. Because you have to remember, this kid was also a wide receiver coming into Virginia. He was a wide receiver prospect. Came in at like 215. His weight fluctuated, obviously. Obviously, he's not going to be playing on the edge that much at 215. It's not small at the college level, but it's not big either. It's not big either, especially going up. They get some of those big OTs at the college level. But he's explosive, like I said. First step quickness. He can put some offensive linemen on skates, pushing him back, brings a variety of pass rush moves, always has a plan. He's never going to be a guy that's going to just not have a plan out there. He's always got a plan trying to get into the backfield and trying to make a splash play. Counter moves are there. So one doesn't work, he's going to another. Dipping under an offensive tackle, a swim move, a spin, a rip, whatever he needs to do, he's always working. He's trying to get into the backfield, trying to get to the quarterback or trying to get to the running back or anybody that has the football in his hands. That's what you really like about the kid. He's got a high motor. He's got some speed to power as well too. It's not his greatest asset, but he does have a bit of a bull rush. It's not really there all the time. We'll talk about that bit too. He's got some hands that are quick and violent, not as powerful as you like. He's a former wrestler though, so he uses some of those skills to the test. Impressive bend and flex. You know, there's some pictures out there. If you want to Google Mike Green college pics and images, there is some really nice pictures of him with the bend and flex. Going around offensive tackles. Offensive tackles just look like they're in the dust, and he's like literally like he's bending so low to the ground that he's dragging his shoulder and his elbow right across the ground and getting right by that offensive tackle or offensive guard, whatever it need may be. So he's got that type of ability there. That bend and flex is there. He times his loops very well when stunting, smart. His pursuit is on point. Gets home in the run game, especially getting guys, tackling guys from behind, pursuit, getting angles on guys. He does that very well. He plays some special teams as well. He played it on all units actually at Marshall, so that's a good thing too. He's a guy that's he wants to be in the field 100% of the time. He's a guy that does not want to be off the field. He plays on all special team units, which is impressive as well. Footwork. I think his lateral footwork is pretty impressive if you watch him on film. It's evident. I'm pretty sure that's from his linebacker days because he played some linebacker at Virginia. And he's got some, he's not overall a huge kid. He's not a big guy. He's tall, lean, long, you know what I mean? But he 6'4", 250, 245 pounds, but kind of fluctuated that weight from 215 to about 250 at the tops. And I think he got even a little bit bigger when he went to the Senior Bowl and then the Combine. He might have put on a little more weight, and he dominated at the Senior Bowl, by the way. And I think he did pretty well at the Combine too. You love his balance as a player. He's got good balance, like I said. You can see him coming around that edge, and he stays upright somehow. I don't know how these kids do it, but they get around those tackles, man, and he's got great balance. He has very good balance. And then when you think of Mike Green, you think of splash plays. He made a ton of splash plays in 2024. It was like every time Marshall made a big play on defense, Mike Green's name was called. You know what I mean? So he's got a lot of that in him. He's got a lot of the big time in him. Okay? Now with the strengths come the weaknesses, and we talk about the weaknesses as well. Now, he's light, like I said. We talk about his weight. He's fluctuated a little bit in his college days. He's a finesse player mainly. He's mainly a finesse player. Talked a little bit about his speed to power. Don't like his speed to power that much. The bull rush can be there at times, but it's not his game. It's really not his game. He's beating you by finesse. That's always getting by you. Like I said, coming at 215, wide receiver, kind of coming into his college days. More often than not, he's getting pushed around in the run game too as well. He doesn't anchor that well. If you watch a lot of his film, you watch some of his tape there, the lower body strength isn't necessarily there. He's getting outweighed by guys that are 50, 60, 70 pounds, sometimes maybe even more at times, and he gets washed away a little bit in the run game. More often than you would like to see, okay? Needs to work on that. Needs to work on his lower body. That's leg presses, that's squats, that's whatever he needs to do to get better in that area. He needs to get that anchor. It's all about anchoring, man. Especially when you're a smaller guy, you better have strong legs going up against a guy 50, 60, even bigger than you as an offensive lineman, because he's just going to bully you. So he does need to get stronger in the lower half. Inconsistent tackles at time. That has a lot to do with not being able to anchor and set the edge. So he's very inconsistent on some tackles. He lacks that power. Is he a one-year wonder? We talked about it a little bit. We'll see. Don't really know just yet, but it's a guy that exploded onto the scene. But it's gonna be brought up. It's gonna be brought up a lot. He lacks the acquired arm length. It's there. I know it's not necessarily something that I always want to talk about, but he does have a little bit of a lack of the arm length. I don't agree with most of it because there's a lot of guys that have proven that theory wrong, but there's been guys that have proven it right. So, but this guy does have a smaller arm length. He'll bite on fakes more than you want. He'll bite on fakes more than you like to see, play action and stuff like that. He needs to be a little bit more disciplined. And then we talked about his essay allegations. Go look it up. He's had two of them, one in high school, one in college. He transferred out of Virginia to get to Marshall to kind of just forget about it all. Nothing's really come about it as of yet. I don't know if it's pending or anything like that, but he's never been arrested. He said he's never even been questioned. He says he's not even worried about anything going into the NFL draft. So who knows? And then he'll get blown up a little bit on combo blocks as well. Then that's being double teamed. He gets hit by a tight end, gets hit by a running back. Same time, he's not getting away from that. He gets uprooted. Boom, he's on his ass. It's happened quite a bit. Like I said, work on that leg strength. He's going to get a lot better. Now overall, if you're looking at this kid, you can't ignore his 2024 numbers. He dominated, plain and simple. 17 sacks, led the nation in sacks, led the FBS. And all of the defensive ends, edges, whatever, in that department, sacks. And killed it in tackles for loss as well. But the sacks, man, he had 17. Nobody had that. And he was the lone soldier on that one. He was a low-end prospect coming into the 2024 season. Now, when I say low-end prospect, we're talking probably 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th round draft pick. Maybe not even drafted at all. Really, I think his best year is in Marshall 2 years ago. He had 4.5 sacks. He did nothing at Virginia because he only played 6 games, had a sack. He didn't do much in Virginia in his first year at Marshall. In his third year, he just exploded onto the scene. So he was a low-end guy. So we're talking 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever you want to talk about, the possibly being undrafted to a guy that is looking at the first round. He's getting drafted in the first round. He's going to. Character flaws, whatever, if they're talking about that thing, yes, it's an issue. Doesn't seem to be something that's going to be pending or in the future, but who knows? Somebody's falling in love with the kid. Some team, I think there's going to be multiple teams. This could be a guy that someone could even trade up for. That's how good I think he could be. That's how good he could be. But the one-year wonder tag is there, but it's not in stone because you don't know, but, it is out there. The explosions there, the quickness, the rush moves, he's got it all. He's got all that stuff. Can he turn himself into a 3-down player at the next level, or is he just another pass rush specialist? Now, is he going to be one of those guys that just comes in on second and long, third and longs? Or is he going to be a guy that is a 3-down player that you can trust in the run game and get to the quarterback at a pretty consistent level? Now, I think it will be a work in progress, I think, for at least the run game. I think he's getting to the quarterback, though, as a rookie. I think he's going to explode onto that scene, getting into the quarterback's grill, getting into running backs' face, behind the line of scrimmage, making plays like that. He's going to do that. You're going to see that at a consistent level. He's a rookie, give the kid some time, but I think he's going to be a playmaker at the next level. It just is he going to be a 3-down guy. Now, he's going to be a guy, like I said, teams are going to fall in love with him. GMs are going to fall in love with him. Some could even take him right off their board because of the allegations. They could. I know nothing about that. Is Brad Holmes that guy? We have pick 28, okay? We have pick 28. Could this kid slip to 28? I don't think he's going to. I think he's a top 10 to 15 pick. If Brad Holmes is going to go after this guy, I think we're going to have to trade up to get him. That's just my opinion. Could he slip? Maybe. Maybe he could. The allegations are out there. The talent's out there. You know what I mean? Some teams, believe it or not, don't give a shit about stuff like that. They really don't. Believe it or not, sad to say, some don't. Some don't really care a lot about character issues. Some teams don't, man. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell and Sheila Ford, they seem to care a little bit more about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't fault him for it. But this kid's an explosive athlete. Would I trade up for this kid? I'm not sure. Every year I kind of fall in love with I fall in love with a prospect here. Every year. I haven't really this year in 2025. Mike Green is close. He's kind of close. I like a couple other guys too as well. I'll do some videos on those guys as well. I'm not gonna tell you who I think, but there's a couple guys out there. But Mike Green is one of the guys that I really like as a football player. And if you go watch his interviews, he doesn't seem like a cocky, arrogant kid. He doesn't seem like like a piece of garbage or nothing like that. He's had some run-ins with some girls, unfortunately, that have not gone his way, and hopefully he's clean. Hopefully he's clean for his sake. I don't even care, if he comes to the Lions. I just hope he didn't do anything bad. And for what we're reading about it, or what I'm reading about it, is that it's kind of ghosted. It's not really being talked about much now. Like I said, no, there was allegations. It was never really pursued. So that kind of makes me wonder, was it real? Was somebody paid up? There's all kinds of things that can go through your head. Like, was it real? Was it someone just looking for attention? Did he pay someone off? Did something happen along that line? I can't tell you anything. I can just give you my opinion. And really, I don't know. I just hope the kid is clean. I hope he didn't do anything bad. And I hope we can move on from this and he can just go play football. But I do hope he slips to 28. But would I trade up for him? I don't know. I don't know yet. Now, you ask me about like a guy like a Micah Parsons, or, hey man, I loved Kayvon Thibodeau a few years back, even a little bit over Hutch right here. I loved Hutchinson. Don't get me wrong, Hutchinson, but I loved Thibodeau. I absolutely loved Thibodeau. Hutchinson, I think, is going to be the better player overall, I think, when it's all said and done. But Thibodeau, he's still a good football player. There's some things that that you want him to see a little bit better as a New York Giant. But I loved him coming out back in 2022, right? 2022, 23, 24, or 23, 2023, 2 years ago. You know what I mean? Now we're 3 years ago actually now, because we're going into the Hutch. We're into the Hutch year 3 and the Thibodeau year 3. They were drafted in the same. Were they drafted in the same? Were they drafted in the same thing? I don't now. I don't remember. But whatever. I loved Thibodeau. I think they were drafted in the same draft class. My brain's kind of out there, but it's just guys like that, man. Like, I would have traded up for a Thibodeau. I would have traded up for a Micah Parsons. I would have traded up for a Hutchinson. Just basically what I'm trying to say. A little brain freeze. But a guy like Mike Green, I'm not 100% sure yet. I don't know. I like him a lot. I love his playing style. I love the way he gets after quarterbacks and gets after ball carriers. All that stuff. He's got some flaws, obviously. The character issues are there, apparently, with the allegations. So I don't really know that. He's not the greatest in the run game. But, it's something he needs to work on, obviously. But trade up for him, not sure. But he's going in the first round. I think he's going in the top 10 or 15. Well, hear that? So he's definitely going in top 10, 15. Could he slip out of the top 20? I just don't think he's going to. Maybe he could. But if the Lions took him at 28, he slipped down to 28, I'd be happy. I'd be a very happy guy, because you'd have a guy with Hutch, him and Hutch, I think would be extremely dangerous. It'd be dangerous. You got Hutch coming back from injury. A lot of people don't think that he's going to be 100% healthy. Kelvin Shepard thinks otherwise, our new defensive coordinator. He thinks he expects greatness. He said, I expect greatness. They come back from 97. He goes, I expect him to be fully healthy. The man's already running a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, whatever he's doing. That's unheard of. His injury was possibly the best injury that he could have had. Believe it or not, a lot of people are like, oh man, broke his leg. No nerve damage, no ligament damage, which is outstanding. Clean break. If you're going to want to break your leg, you're going to want to have a clean break. Nothing jagged where stuff can poke out of your skin. no ligaments, no nerve damage. He had none of that. Just straight bone broke. His bone just snapped in half. It was the best break that he could have had. Best injury that he could have had, believe it or not. It's not even the worst. I think his injury in college was worse when he broke his other leg. Because he broke his leg before in college, by the way, at Michigan. If you guys didn't know that. He broke his leg in college, and now he broke his other leg. I don't know if it's the exact same injury, but I think his college injury was way worse. And he came back stronger than ever. So I expect him to come back stronger than ever with even better medicine and better physiotherapy. So I expect big things coming from Hutch this year. But if they can pair him up with a guy like a Mike Green, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm kind of a little bit hesitant on maybe trading up for a guy like that because he does scare me a little bit in the run game. He does, but he's going to get better. So I wouldn't trade up too much from 28 to maybe 15, 20, maybe to 20. I do that. He starts creeping around 18, 19. Brad Holmes, get on a horn. So just my opinion. Probably not even going to happen. We're probably drafting a guard, by the way. I'm just letting you guys know. Be prepared. It's not the sexy pick. Be prepared, though, because Brad Holmes likes to do stuff like that to us. But, hey, I haven't complained really much about Brad Holmes. You know, some of the things he does, you know, he's never void of criticism. But you guys know what I'm trying to get at, and I'm going on way too long. But, hey, Mike Green, Marshall Thundering Herd, sack artist. Do you like him? Do you like him, Detroit Lions? You're going to have to trade up, I think, to get him. He's not falling to 28. In my opinion, he's not going to. Could he? Maybe. I don't think he's going to. But he's going to be a hell of a ball player at the NFL level. And if you get another guy next to him on a bookend, sky's the limit. I think sky's the limit because he's got that much ability. I think he'll be very good down the road. So that's it, guys. Thanks a lot. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell up top. Don't forget to leave the comment, hit the like, do all that stuff, man. All right? Detroit Lions, guys. One pride, grit. Let's go. NFL draft is right around the corner. It's like a month away. See you guys later, man. Boom. Bam. Detroit, baby.